All right, welcome everybody to the MinnHax 2024 Dev Showcase number 1. Today we're going to be going through the first half of the MinnHax 2024 Game Jam submissions and hopefully talking to a couple of the devs, seeing how the jam went for them, and just looking at some cool games. So the run of show today is going to be starting with Divination 101, moving on to Toaster's Very Busy Day, then Sanctuary, Goblins of the Heart, Defender ReFangtazio, Cranky Courier, and ending today with MinnMax Home Edition. And if your game was not mentioned in that list, that means you are part of the Dev Showcase number 2, which will be tomorrow. And also for anyone who doesn't have time to stay for the whole thing or miss part of it, we are going to be locally recording these and putting them up on YouTube later. I am John Scovic. I helped organize the jam all 3 years so far. The other 2 organizers this year are LemonLimeBitta and CrabPalace, who also helped run it this year. So they're going to be joining for helping out with the stream, asking questions, all of that. And that's pretty much it in terms of table setting. So let's get underway. We're going to start with a game called Divination 101. I'm not sure if we have Obna in the house. It doesn't look like it, but I'm going to jump ahead into that. And is everybody seeing this? If you're tuning in live, you're going to want to hit the watch stream button on me on the Discord chat so you can make sure you're seeing what's going on here. So this is Divination 101 by Oliver Brown. Right. So looked at this one a little bit earlier. It seems to be, kind of a demo or a prototype of something, but you can kind of move around from room to room here. Over here, looks like you'd be taking some sort of notes. And I like kicking off with this one because I want it to be clear to everybody, if you have never participated in a game jam before, there is absolutely no problem with making something that is just a demo or a prototype or a concept or just an idea. And submitting that to a game jam. Don't be afraid to, make something super polished and finished. It's a feat to get anything working in just a month, especially for a lot of people who this is their first time working on something like this. So without Obna here to talk us through, all we can really do is guess at what we're doing here, but definitely seems to be some sort of point and click adventure setup here. I actually really like this texture and stuff. It has a cool vibe to it. But unfortunately, I think that's about all we've got to look at in this one, is moving around some rooms here. Obviously playable within the itch page. There are a lot of games this year that people made browser versions of to be playable directly on itch. So if anyone wants to try any of these out for themselves, you can always go to the jam page on itch and play through them for yourself at home. So this was a quick look at Divination 101. Let's go ahead and move on to our second game, which is going to be Toaster's Very Busy Day. We're going to alternate here, so if you want to switch over to LemonLimeBitta's stream, that will be where the next one is being shown off. Oh, I did that wrong. 1 second. And I'm just going to move it over here for the recording's sake.
Alrighty. G'day everyone. So have we got any of the devs from Toasters? We've got CrabPalace on over. Anyone else?
I think it's just me.
Okay,
some
awesome.
People said they might try and join later, but I think let's just get going.
Cool, awesome. All right, so
This is Toaster.
I love that straight away. We got Charles. Tell us a little bit about the team. So who'd you have working?
Yeah, so it's me, Rapatika, Alex on music, and Cath on art. So yeah, this is inspired by Charles's new puppy Toaster, and yeah, as soon as Toaster was mentioned as a concept for the game, we all just thought that'd be really fun and cute. And yeah, Cath did a great job with Toaster's design.
Yeah, looks great. What was your what platform were you all working with for this?
Oh yeah, so this was Game Maker.
Okay, awesome. And you've used them a couple of years now, right? I remember your first entry for, was that 2 years ago now for MinnMax the first one? MinnHax the first one?
Yeah. Game Maker's a weird one. It's quite I don't know. It's definitely got a bit of a bad reputation these days, but you can make some great stuff with it, and a lot of great games have been made.
Oh, there we go. Hidden Jeffem head. You love to see those
Oh,
side
yeah.
quests.
Straight up, good side quest.
Yeah, so for anyone tuning in, we did have a theme for the jam this year. The theme was the heart emoji, to be interpreted however you'd like it to be interpreted. And then we also, every year, have a list of what we call side quests, which are just kind of bonus objectives to push yourself and try to find ways to work them into your game. Here being a hidden Jeffem head in your game, which is always a crowd pleaser. Oh, perfect placement there. Love that.
I was hoping that there'd be like a hidden little Easter egg for.
Yes, I really wanted to add some achievements for peeing on specific things for sure.
Yeah.
Stretch goal.
That's right.
And I see the hearts here when we bring the ball back. I like the interpretation.
Yeah. And it's Charles Hart, of course.
Oh, yes.
That's right. I mean, yeah, you gotta work that in.
That was an accident, I think, but yeah, so if you just go to the bottom left, that's to exit this level.
Leo.
Oh, there we go. Little, what did they call that one? The IRL gaming ones. Sure, yeah, and then the
right.
chess in real life, whatever they called the big Scrabble and big chess. Was it just called big chess? It might have just been called big chess.
Giant chess, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So going back to working with Game Maker and kind of the reputation Game Maker has, what do you like about Game Maker specifically?
It's just really quick to get going with Game Maker, and like it's got a sprite editor built in. I know a lot of people like to use Sprite or other software for doing sprite work, but I think the sprite editor in Game Maker is pretty solid and quick to use, and it's just nice to have everything all there.
I also think personally, Game Maker, especially for a game jam, I think is such a good fit because it's, like you said, it's so quick to get something up and running in Game Maker, and it's like if you're making a commercial product, you know, working on it for multiple years and putting all these features into it, then maybe Game Maker is not the right fit. But I think Game Maker is almost always the right fit if you're making if you're making a 2D game jam game. I think there isn't a better software you could pick than Game Maker in terms of just getting up and running as fast as possible and being able to iterate quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I really want to try out Godot for a game jam at some point.
Yeah, we have a couple of Godot games. That I think our next one coming up is a Godot game if I remember right. So
I'm already picking up down here. I like this.
What could that be referencing?
Nothing legally binding, I believe.
That's right.
Get him, Toaster. Yes. Nice one.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, this was a late addition to the game, but I'm really glad we managed to get it in. Cause,
that's awesome. Were there, you mentioned wanting to do like achievements and stuff like that. Were there any other ideas you had that didn't make the cut? Stuff that you guys wanted to work in?
I mean, originally the sort of early concept for this was like the opposite of Untitled Goose Game, where basically instead of trying to cause havoc and ruin people's days, it was make everyone happy by doing dog things.
Right.
But we ended up keeping it pretty simple and doing some short little puzzly levels. Yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. It was a bit difficult because our schedules weren't overlapping very well of times we could work on it at the same time.
Yeah.
There was kind of like one person working on it for a week and then someone else coming in with some level design stuff. But yeah, I feel like we got 3 little levels in there. Some nice art, some great music by Alex. I really love his music.
It looks and sounds awesome for sure.
Yeah, it came together pretty well, I think.
I think the design's pretty good too. Like it makes sense pretty much straight away, and having the tutorial hints as well, like baked into the world. Nice touch.
Yeah, that was definitely. I wasn't involved too much with the level design, but I know that was a question of like, how do we let the players know what they need to do without text? And eventually I think it was just, this is actually a really difficult part of game design.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for a game jam. Let's just tell them what to do, and they'll not solve the puzzles for them, but
Yeah,
give them some directions.
We'll get to mine tomorrow. Mine is even more clumsily, just last second, like, oh right, I need to tell people what the buttons are. Like I've been looking,
Right.
I've been staring at this, every day for a month. I know how to, control it, but yeah,
All
I
you got
also
to do
have
is
a.
press Shift Alt S5. That's why is no one getting that?
All right, well, that was a look at Toaster's very big day. Is that correct? Very busy day.
Yeah.
There you go. Toaster's very busy day. Thanks so much, CrabPalace, for hopping in. Very cool. Let's go ahead and. Oh, that's wrong. This here. All right, and next we're going to be taking a look at Sanctuary. So if we have any of the Sanctuary devs, you can go ahead and hop up and we can talk through a little bit of that.
Hey, I'm IronAnchor. I did most of combat programming. I see Nubbyy here. If you wanted to introduce yourself. Oh, you probably play in Windows mode. I think it doesn't scale.
No worries. Yeah. No problem. I was about to ask if you had a recommendation, but yeah, totally fine.
Yeah. But let me quickly give the props to everyone who I don't think are
absolutely
here. So Nubbyy with 2 Ys did music and sound. So we also have a bit of sound effects. Cortés was all of the art, including what you're seeing here, and a lot of the concept and writing in the I/O page, which I don't know if you can show real quick. That's also props to Cortés.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the game page. Oh yeah, there you go. That is professional right there.
Yeah, he said basically while he was waiting for us to
lore and backstory.
Yeah.
Bunch of overachievers over here. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to give the artist something to do. And Jeorin also contributed to the lore, also did some development and then a lot of the QA testing. And so he was basically just like taking builds, playing it through, giving feedback, updating numbers. And then we have Sambo, who did most of we have a hub world section, which is the titular sanctuary, and he did most of the programming for that.
Awesome.
So pretty well distributed, and this is all I'm good at.
All right, very cool. Let's hop in here, and I'll see what I can figure out, and then start asking you questions as I get stuck.
I don't hear any sound. Oh wait, no, I do. Okay, I just was really quiet on my stream.
Yeah, you should be able to control, for anyone watching, you should be able to control volume of the stream for yourself at the bottom of the Discord streaming window. So, looks like we're doing a little bit of a, what are we calling him now? Bullet Heaven? A little Vampire Survivors-like.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Cortés who was just like, I want to do a Vampire Survivor clone, and we all just were like, cool. And that's it.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Crowd pleaser for sure. But it looks like so we're shooting hearts to convince these animals to join up with us. Is that the general idea here?
Well, if you look at the lore and backstory, yes, that's basically the general premise.
Awesome.
I will admit that. Hold on, okay. I just want to make sure everyone heard the jingle.
Yes.
I will admit that I don't really know the backstory. I was basically just plugging away, and then like the last minute, I was like, "Oh, wait, why are we shooting hearts at things?" And I was like, "Cool. Oh, we're saving them. That's good."
Just like real game dev, you just go away, and then all of a sudden you learn there's a story.
All right, we got a whole NPC system here. Upgrade some stats.
What was a feature you found difficult to implement or frustrating?
Let's see.
Now that I see you've got stats in there, it sounds like you've got quite a bit of depth going on.
I would say communication was just the hardest part because I think it was the right idea to kind of do things separately. But then there are a lot of things that cross over, like, the animals you save, that contributes to like the resources, and so that was difficult. We were on different time zones, and so it was often like, here's a feature request, and then they can't see it until the next day. And also, I was without internet for a week, and that was unfortunate for my part.
Yeah, that makes it tough for sure.
That'll
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, the time zone thing's a killer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, anything collaborative like that, like even my day job, when we are all in the office together working on separate parts of a game, there are still communication issues. So it definitely always a struggle at every level of making games. How am I?
There's a cat.
Oh, talking to one more.
I think you meant.
All right, gosh. Mrs. Cat, how could I forget?
Yeah, unfortunately, we did not solve the fact that your amount saved blends into the background a little bit there.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, I do love that you were pretty strict about the monochrome or two-toned, I guess, color palette.
Yeah. We were trying to be 100% strict, and then you'll note that we gave up, and so some things are going to be red, some things are going to be blue, some things are going to be purple. But yeah, again, shout out to Cortés. He was just like, I wanted to do black and white pixels, and we're like, go for it.
Yeah, no, it looks very distinct. I like it a lot, and it's still very clear what I'm looking at everywhere, which I feel like that can definitely be a struggle with just going black and white with stuff. I also I like the pop of color, like when you hit them. I think it would be harder to sell like an impact like that in just black and white.
Yeah. Was the percentages? When did that come in the development? Was that like we can't really visualize to the player how much effect you're having on it, or was it always going to be like that?
To be honest, I think I added in as a placeholder just to make sure that the damage was working, and then I couldn't find anything that looked better. Because if you can imagine health bars, that was just... I found that hard to read, and on later nights, you're going to get enemies with more health, and so it became a problem that we've already solved, and so I just didn't, try too hard to solve it again.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet. Yes. I was going to say that could have been a challenge for black and white as well, communicating that health, but... It's interesting. You can kind of tell that it was like, I'll just put this in here for now, and then you're like, actually, it's not too bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes the debug solution is the best solution. All right, let's give it maybe get some upgrades, give it one more night here, and then we'll...
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely want to do at least the third night, but then after that, I think...
Oh, okay, we got something special to look forward to on the third night?
Yeah.
Right.
I encourage everyone to play the game because we did try to make it interesting all the way through, but definitely up to the third night.
Yeah, and again, everyone can access these for yourself on the jam page on itch. So don't forget to go check those out and play them for yourself. We haven't saved enough horsies.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
I did actually want there to be a strategy where you realize, I actually have to focus down on some of these enemies. Because just staying alive, you start to fall behind the power curve.
Yeah, totally. If you're going for a specific upgrade, you can kind of plan out who you're going for.
And I think Lemon asked what was the hardest thing, and it was this, because Cortés one day was like, "Hey, I made a boss. If you guys wanted to," and this was very difficult because it turns out it's really easy to make something that just kills you instantly. It's actually pretty hard to make something that seems still challenging, but it's doable.
Yeah, the balance of it is always tricky when you're going from regular enemies to a boss, because you want it to feel significant, but you don't want it to feel impossible. Which I'm not doing a great job showing that off here.
Yeah.
Guess we still got a good amount of health. We got a shot here, maybe.
I can even see, as John's playing it though, he's learning the boss, which I always think is great boss design when you got to play it a few times. It might be hard with a roguelite when you go back to the start, but the last wave, it looked like the boss was shooting out sort of conical sort of attacks. I don't know what he's going to do now. Yeah, like it's getting harder and harder, which is cool. It's like a multi-sorter.
Yeah.
It's coming down to it. I don't know about this one. And so the nights that I was doing before, were those just kind of like timer based, or was it beating a certain number of enemies, or how was that progressing from one night to the
timer.
next? Okay.
I'm pretty sure I found a day-night cycle tutorial online and just kind of plugged it in. Pretty much.
Because I know with Vampire Survivors, that's something you learn like as you're playing it. Is like, oh, I'm not. Hey, pulled it out. I feel like that's something you learn with Vampire Survivors from playing it, is that you actually do want to be aggressive. Like, you're going to fall behind if you're not seeking out enemies to defeat. And I feel like this kind of follows with that too, in terms of you need to actually go after them, because that is how you're leveling up. You're on a timer, so that's awesome.
And the last thing I want to say is just that we did tune it so that you could potentially be the boss, because definitely the first iteration, and props to Jeorin for this, we're just like, oh, we got to the boss and we all died. So I'm glad that we were able to see you clutch it out.
Yeah, awesome. Any last words from any other devs on here? I don't know if anyone else hopped in, or if you have anything else. Let's just I think I grabbed an upgrade there that looked like it was maybe a different thing. So let's just hop back into a couple seconds.
You have no help. I want to point out. You have like no.
Sure. Did I save enough to heal? Oh, perfect. All right, let's just get another couple seconds here. Oh, big hearts and a new little.
And you also know that horse is a lot bigger.
Yeah. That is a big horsey. All right, well, awesome. This is super cool. And again, this definitely seems like one that people might want to play for themselves. Seems pretty repeatable, try some different upgrades and stuff. So everyone should definitely go check it out on the itch page. All right, thanks so much for hopping up and for participating in the jam. Hope to see you again if we do it next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. All right, so if everyone wants to, again, pop over to Lemon Lime's stream. That's where we're going to have the next game going here.
All right. And we've got Max in the chat as well. G'day, Max.
Hello, am I coming through?
Yeah, I got your logo, man. Cool. This is one that I played, so we sort of tried to play through them before we did the stream. And I played it through. You can tell I've got the continue thing there. I love this game. I think it's a really good demo of like tutorialization without it being in your face. Like the game builds each time you clear a level, you go boulders can now be pushed to a ladder. So then like you think you get the hang of it, and then every sort of new level has a new mechanic thrown in, which I thought was really cool. Tell us about your experience making it. I saw on your itch page you've done this a lot. You've done quite a few game jams.
Yeah, I did the MinnHax last year, and I did the Great Pumpkin Grapple last year.
Oh, awesome.
And I've done some before. I did a Thinky Game Jam where I'd used Puzzle Script, which is what this was made in before, so I was able to make Puzzle Script work pretty quickly for me. And yeah, Puzzle Script is kind of designed to make Sokoban type games, which this isn't really, but it worked well enough for this.
Awesome.
I played this quite a few times, and I've got to make sure I'm showing that like you learn the game as you go along. You don't just do it straight away. Now,
once you figure things out, you can get through the game pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran into that with the one I was working on too. I kind of forgot that when I sat it in front of someone else to try it out. And I was like, oh, right. If someone doesn't know exactly where I put everything, this is going to take them like half an hour to actually find everything. Versus me, I could run through it start to finish in 45 seconds probably.
Right.
Yeah, it's... Did you do a lot of putting it in front of other people to test out puzzles and see how the balance of it and the tutorialization of it was working along the way, or did you just hope for the best and put it out there?
So I did a little bit of that. I didn't have a whole lot of time for that. So my whole October was kind of thrown into chaos by real life stuff getting in the way. So I did
Sure.
this the second to last weekend is when I started, and I
Oh wow.
basically just did it that weekend. And so I had someone play test it that Sunday, and I made a few like small changes the week before submission, and that was pretty much it.
Wow, yeah, that's a quick turnaround on this. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll just show that one there as well. Like, these guys are cool. If you don't deal with them, they push you back, and so you've got to like block them, and then you can move forward. Because like it gets more convoluted as we go along. But you said it's in Puzzle Ship. Did you say you made it? I've never even heard of that.
Puzzle script. So yeah, it's for making Sokoban style games generally, but you can do anything you can do with it. But yeah, it's generally meant for puzzle script or for Sokoban. So block pushing games.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here they come. I gotta say also, going into today, I hadn't played any of them yet because I was trying to go in fresh, and just looking at the submissions page, the one I was most excited to see just on name alone was Goblins of the Heart. I just think that's a fantastic name for a game.
Yeah, so this
Well,
is a good...
it was kind of, what can I do with puzzle script, all the sprites are 5x5, so it's very limited. And so it's, what could I do that, and so a circle with red eyes is pretty much it for enemies.
Hey, they read as goblins to me. They got the little ears on the side. I can see what you're going
Right.
for.
Should definitely have made this full screen the whole time. Sorry about that. This is a good example of like, so normally this blocker, I press X and that would destroy him, but I want him to push me. So I like how like the single mechanic is used for different things as you go along. Yeah, like as I was saying at the start, like it feels like a good shows that you understand how players learn to play games, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I played through this game as well all the way through. I loved it. I've never really done like puzzle design before. For my game, Rapatika did most of the puzzles, did a great job. Is there like a process to coming up with puzzles? Like how do you create a puzzle that's designed to be solved? I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, so for me, generally it's kind of like I have one idea that I want to try and take advantage of. So it's, either a specific enemy that I want to highlight, something so like, if I want to have, being pushed by that purple goblin instead of defending it right, it's like, okay, I want to design a puzzle that's just around that. And then kind of slowly add more things to it. So kind of you talked about the tutorialization, like half the levels tutorialize something. And so those are generally really simple one concept in the level. And so I made all those levels first, and then I made the last level after I did all the tutorial levels to see like, okay, well, how complex a puzzle can I really do with these things? And then, kind of filled in the gaps from there with ideas of combining different enemy types.
Yeah, it is interesting when you're working on puzzle stuff how much it kind of not to take away from the skill involved, but it does kind of design itself to some degree in terms of like, well, I need them to understand how this mechanic works, so I'm going to build a level around how this mechanic works, which will also teach them how this mechanic works. It's kind of like a weird cyclical thing where you start with the end point you want them to be at and think of how can I get them to that point where they understand how this works, and then go from there with the levels.
Right. It was something where, I kind of made all the mechanics first pretty much before designing any level. I was like, okay, well, are these mechanics actually going to work for interesting puzzles? We'll find out, sort of thing.
Were there any that didn't make the cut? Any mechanics or goblin types or anything you wanted to include?
So I was hoping to do a little more Sokoban style stuff with the boulders, and it just was going to be a real pain to kind of add more functionality to them where you could kind of push them over bridges or something like that. So I ended up just saying, oh, they're good enough. I got a couple boulder pushing segments, and that's good enough.
Yeah, save that for
And
Goblins of the Heart too.
with the ghosts as well, kind of the original idea was for them to all follow you, kind of like Snake, and I couldn't really find a good way to do that in puzzle script, so it ended up just being, one will follow you and the rest will kind of stay where they're at.
Yeah,
Yeah, puzzle script is really not designed for something like that.
No, I definitely want to look into it though. I hadn't heard of it before either, but it sounds really cool. I love when there are tools that are that specific to like a specific genre or subgenre or something like that, where it's like this is the best thing possible if you are trying to make this exact style of game or something similar. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you like block pushing games, it's definitely worth checking out. There's a pretty decent community of people who like puzzle script, and so what I've found is like the puzzle script games I've made that I've put on itch, generally get people who just search straight up for puzzle script games who will show up and try them out.
Awesome. All right. This is super impressive, especially for just like you said, the last 2 weeks of the jam. This is awesome.
Yeah, sign of a good game jam game is when I'm trying to present it and I forget I'm presenting and just play the game.
Yeah, easy to get sucked into for sure. Awesome. Thanks so much. Hope to see you again if we do another game jam next year.
Yeah, thank you everyone who hosted.
All right, and next, bear with me for just a second because this one takes a little bit of setup. We're going to try to run Cranky Courier, which is a Playdate game. And I have downloaded the Playdate. Okay, yeah. No, I did this yesterday. Okay, well, we're going to install this real quick and go from there. I downloaded the Playdate emulator to get this up and running. Do we have... Cranky Courier was made by Cognos. I don't know if we have Cognos today. Doesn't look like it. That's fine. Let me open this up. All right. No, that's okay. All right. Oh, I thought last time I played this. Let me try to open it again real quick. I'm pretty sure last time I played it, it had a tutorial screen real quick. Nope, maybe not. All right. So I don't remember how this worked exactly because I swear yesterday when I started it up, it told me how to play it. But let's just go for it. I remember it saying you could either use the crank or the D-pad. Let's see if we can figure anything out. It's something about delivering letters. Let's see. Let's try a reset. Sure. Okay, well, if anyone has any insight or any guesses on... here we go. Here we go.
Now you're into it.
All right. We're grabbing this and then getting back on our crank, I think. Are we delivering it to this little block here? Seems reasonable. All right. This is awesome. I'm so excited every time we get a quote-unquote non-standard submission like this. Not just a PC game, but something a little wackier. We've had Playdate games in the jam before, and I always get thrilled to see different projects like this. I've always wanted to dig into... I think it's Pulp is the Playdate official language they put out to be able to make Playdate games. And I have a Playdate. I used it for about a day and a half, and it is in a moving box somewhere, but I always tell myself I'd love to get back in there and make something for it at some point.
Does this one happen to have sound too, or is it just muted?
There's a volume thing here, but I'm not hearing anything either, if that helps. So I don't think it's a stream thing.
Figured I'd
Oh,
ask.
there it is.
Oh,
Okay.
hey!
All right, let's make that a little more reasonable. All right. Time's up. New high score, 138. This is awesome. It's like okay. We got a classic, like arcade style startup sound. Okay. Good call on the sound there. This still seems extremely loud. Yeah, this is
from the
super cool.
The MinnMax Panic spotlight. They were talking about the attach rate of the Playdate games. I think it's an interesting idea for an indie to be like, oh, I'm going to focus on this specific piece of equipment and develop for it. And they have I don't know what they said, but I think it was tens or hundreds of thousands of people developing for the system, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember hearing that in the video too, and being kind of surprised by how high it was. But I guess Playdate people are all in on Playdate, which is super cool to hear. I definitely intend to play around with it more at some point, but every time I actually sit down to make something, I fall into my old patterns of, well, I already know how to use Unity, so let's just use Unity. But this is super cool. Very, very happy to see something like this in the jam this year. If anyone else has any Playdate comments or questions or anything like that. Otherwise, I'll probably just finish this run here and we can go ahead and move on. But thanks to was it Cognos for the submission. All right. New high score. Let's go. All right. Very cool on that one. I think... Yeah, let's just double check here. That was Cranky Courier by Cognos. And you can actually set all of this up yourself at home, too. I just downloaded the Playdate simulator here from their official website. And you can run Playdate games on there if you're trying to build something, which is super cool. All right, so next we're going to hop into Defender ReFangtazio. We have any of hcblessing, Miskain, or Skyguide.
You got 3 of us.
Oh,
Hello.
Look at that. What a treat. All right, welcome. If you all want to run through real quick just your roles and maybe the platform you use to make it.
Sure, yeah. You can do that. I'll go first. So my name's Hunter. I did a lot of the programming for this, some of the design. And then we had 4 other people. 3 of them are on the call.
Yeah, it looks like Lee, who is the other person on call, is currently muted. So I don't know if they Oh, you're muted. There you are.
I was just waiting for my my turn. So,
I just want to make sure you're with us. Anyways, I'm Dylan. I did the sound and audio. I'm credited as Skyguide, but that's like my music name. So, anywho, sound, audio, did a little bit of the main menu stuff and some other little tidbits. And on to Lee.
I'm Lee. I'm a web developer by trade, so I have not done I have not made games before, so this was a big learning experience. I do want to shout out Hunter for bearing with me and fixing my bugs. So I did some animations. I did the option menu, which inordinately proud of. So yeah, thanks.
That's awesome. What did you guys use to make the game?
We used Unity.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, that's my background is Unity, so I have a lot of experience. I've been like a professional Unity developer for 5 years, so I was doing a lot of the once we had the ideas, I kind of knew how to do it. So that was nice to have, but
yeah.
That's awesome. How did you guys come to the idea of this heart tower and the vampire theme and all of that?
Hunter, that was mostly Miska, right?
yeah, it was Miska. So the 2 other guys on our team, Miska or Miskain, and that's mildly Raven. so Miskain, he did all the art. He also came up with the idea
Yeah.
and like a lot of the design ideas. He had some good inputs on that. And then that's mildly Raven did the programming for the towers for like the projectiles and stuff.
I think Miska. I know Sanctuary earlier had the like the lore thing. Miska had like a pretty good write up at one point. I think at the beginning when we were kind of brainstorming.
Nice.
So props to him for coming up
For sure.
with all that. Certainly was a good. I had no idea what we were gonna do, and so it was like, oh yeah, that great. Just we'll go with that. No looking back at all.
He basically pitched it, and we were like, all right, let's do it. And then there were some questions of scope of like, oh, this might be too complicated, but we just tried it. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got some, are these like the townspeople coming for their local vampire?
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Hunter, I don't have. I found one of our Google Docs. I don't know if it has the thing, the lore for what we were gonna try to implement. Is that
yeah.
Dracula had. I think what Miska had we kind of discussed was that the idea is that Dracula has gone into his crypt for a while, and an inordinate amount of time has passed, like maybe an incredibly long amount of time, and the townspeople have built up a town around him. And so now they're coming during the daytime to try and get rid of him, and you're just trying to defend yourself against that. Is what the idea was at one point.
Exactly.
He's just
he
trying
forgot
to
to set his
exist,
alarm
yeah.
clock.
Yeah, that was he forgot to set his alarm clock. That's right, I forgot about that. But yeah, it was definitely I remember somewhere was written that is the idea that you were not the bad guy. You're just trying to chill, and these people have shown up. So, also, side note, I don't know if it's for everybody else. I don't have any audio on my end from the stream. I don't know if that's
I can hear it on mine.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh.
I think it's kind of quiet. You might have to turn up the stream's volume on your side, Dylan.
I have it maxed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, in either case, the local recording should have some audio in there then, if anyone wants to go back and check that out. Yeah, this is super cool. I also, you mentioned the Sanctuary game also having like the lore and backstory and stuff. I think it's also interesting that the format is similar too, in terms of kind of like a two-phased, like, you know, resource and level up, and then go back to gameplay, and then resource and level up. I think that's a cool way to do it. I also
strange coincidence.
Yeah, I also just love for a game jam focusing on something that's like survival based and like repeatable. I think is such a smart idea. I think a lot of people's instinct when they make, you know, like their first game, or just, you know, they are excited about a game jam, like, oh, I have so many cool ideas. They want to make like a story based thing, or like, you know, something with all this progression and stuff. I think it's so much, you can get a lot more done. You can get a lot more out of it if you're making like either a high score game or a repeatable survival game, like something with waves. It's kind of a good way to like make good use of your time. You know, you can make a lot more playtime out of something that way, which I think is cool.
I know we wanted to come up with something for having some kind of definitive end, but we just didn't have the time. So yeah, as it sits, like you said, it's just, you can boot it up, play it, and get as far as you like, you know? There's no, like you said, no narrative or anything too crazy, but...
Yep, and all the balancing was done like 2 hours before submission. So
right, as any good game jam game should.
For the record, Hunter, I've had a friend who like played it after we put it up, and he was like, "Oh, I got to like level 99. I don't know, something really, really far." He's like, "I had to purposely kill myself."
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen more than a few comments of like, "Oh, I got really far," and then I just stopped. It's like, that's fine, you know. It's totally.
I thought I was. Don't tell me this. I thought I was really good at this game.
Ah, sorry. Everybody's really good. Everybody's really good. No one's
that's right.
bad.
Everybody who plays this game is a good person by default.
We ended up adding mechanics. Like the final day, we added a dash, which if you press shift, you can dash, and it actually spins some of the spirit orbs. So that kind of helps. But yeah, the balance was just last minute. I just kind of threw some numbers in, and I didn't have time to play past like level 30. So I was like, okay, I guess we'll submit it.
Yeah, it's
a good job. Piece of feedback. The positive feedback. The aim assist on the mouse is awesome. Great great little attention to detail.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, like the I think the fact that the laser ray thing moves kind of slowly is makes it a little bit more challenging than just like a Twitch sort of mouse thing. But yeah,
And
kind of like deliberately show how like you don't have to be right on it and it locks on.
Also, in my experience, ground targeting stuff like this at like an isometric angle is one of those mechanics where like if you see it in a game, you don't think twice about it. It's like, yeah, tons of games have that. And then you try to make it for yourself and you're like, oh God, I need to like do a little bit of trigonometry and like, casting the mouse on the screen and projecting it onto the ground. Like there's more to it than you would think to make that feel good. It's one of those kind of hidden things that goes a long way when you get it right.
For sure, yeah. The ray actually follows the mouse, and then it doesn't deal damage until the laser actually catches up to the mouse, kind of. So, and that was interesting. It's the first time I've done a non-VR game for the programming, but it was fun.
Yeah, so
now picture this in VR.
Yeah, exactly. Dracula's perspective. You can actually zoom in with the mouse as well if you want to see a little bit further.
Oh, that's great. And the little like shift forward, like old RTS style. That's great.
Yep, that was Cinemachine.
There's little teeth on Dracula there. They're very hard to see, but.
And you should zoom in on the mine over there.
Oh yes, definitely zoom in on the mine.
I am gonna die though because I'm. Oh, there he is!
Oh, beautiful. Love that.
I'm dead.
That's funny that you mentioned Cinemachine. I just started working with that for the first time at my day job, and it is awesome. It made me regret every hour I've ever spent trying to make my own cameras because it is so good.
It is, yeah. All the transitions are just happen for you, and it's a lot better.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I think people can be a little stubborn. People meaning me in this case, in terms of like when you're doing a game jam, I kind of get in my own head of like, well, I'm gonna make it all myself. I'm gonna do it from scratch. But you can get so much more done if you use these tools that other people have made and plugins and packages and stuff like that. It's definitely something I need to get better at with my games.
It's funny that in like real software dev, you just extensions on extensions on extensions, and in game dev, like, no, I'm gonna make my own collider packages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I found that if you want to do something quickly, doing a package is great. But then I find like later down the line, if I'm using a bunch of packages and I want to do something very specific, I'm like, oh, I gotta tweak this. Oh, I should have just made my own. Oh no. But yeah, packages are great.
All right. This is awesome, guys. Thanks so much for hopping up here. Hope you all had fun working on the jam this year. We're thrilled to have you.
Yeah, it was a blast. Shout out, props, while we're in a public setting, props to you, Hunter, for I think you kept us going pretty good throughout a lot. And you were very helpful since I'm so terrible with Unity, so much appreciated.
You guys are welcome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And thank you all for pitching in with all the audio and programming. And it's pretty challenging to do like a first game jam or first time, like especially coming from web dev. So good job, Lee, with diving into that. And with all the source control issues we were having, great with that.
Hey, we pushed on through, got it finished.
All right, awesome job, guys.
Everyone watching the stream there, John just opened VLC, which I've never ever opened for a game jam before. This somehow edges out the Playdate game for the most like bespoke game.
All right. This is probably pretty loud for you. Apologies. So what we're looking at here is, and this is going to sound like I'm doing a Simpsons prank call bit, but do we have a general Jackass? Was the listed developer of this game?
Jackass in the house?
No general Jackasses. All right, so what we're looking at here is MinnMax Home Edition, which is a DVD menu game. It is programmed to work. You can, I believe someone else in the dev channel confirmed you can burn this to a disc and play it on a full legit DVD player, which is the coolest thing I've ever heard. And here, if you want to set it up how I did, you can also, VLC has an option to mount a disc as the media you are looking at, and you can download the files from itch, mount it as an ISO in VLC, and hopefully play through it that way. So I haven't seen this besides just getting it up and running. I guess might as well look at the attribution here. See who worked on this. And it's so funny too, just seeing like the bar at the bottom. Like every little part you go to here is just a video, which is fascinating. Okay, hitting a finished baseball bat sound effect. Thank you, MinnMax community. All right, I was hoping to get like the developer's name or something, but that's fine. All right, does this just return to the menu, do we think? Great, beautiful. All right, let's check out Home Run Derby featuring Leo Vader. When a pitch is thrown, press the button shown on your remote. Oh, do I have a remote? We'll see how that works. Hopefully clicking is the button on my remote. We're gonna find out. 5 home runs to win. 3 strikes and it's all over. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, I see. I had to hit up. Okay, I understand. This one for sure. Wow, the production on this is amazing.
This is wild.
I'm so
know.
excited right now.
I don't know how they got the footage of Leo missing. I didn't think that happened on the stream, did it?
Yeah, I don't remember that. That sounds made up. It's probably AI. All right. So, okay, I'm paying attention this time. I need to hit the... Oh, that's quick. Okay. All right. I'm blowing it here. We got to get at least one. We got to see Leo crank one. Oh, 5 home runs, jeez.
Stinky cheddar. Here we go.
Ah! Let's go. Oh, a little effect in it. No, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. All right, we got one. Ooh, this is gonna be tough to come back from. I wonder if I could use the arrow keys too. I probably could. Oh, I think I got it. Nice. It's using like different audio clips and stuff, different times you come. I wonder what the logic behind that would be. I've absolutely I remember that one. I have no idea how one would even begin to start looking at something like this. I can't imagine there are too many tutorials online for making your own DVD menu game. And just to come up with this as your big idea for the game jam is so cool. Let's just finish.
Inspiring jam ideas I've seen.
Yeah, this is awesome. Let's finish out this. Whether I get this last one or not, we'll move on to the second mini game here after this.
Here we go.
I think I got it. Oh man, what a comeback! All right, let's see what we get.
Hey, Ruth over here.
All right, little ending jingle. Oh, something happened there, but that was amazing. Back to game select here. Let's play a little trivia tower, I guess. Exclusive home game.
Welcome to Trivia Tower, the fastest growing trivia show on Patreon. My name is Ben Hansen. Thank you for being here. This is MinnMax's Trivia Tower. We hope you like game trivia because that's what we're bringing you today. Okay, let's start out on a nice and easy one. This category is called You and I. I'm going to be showing you an image from a game's UI.
All right.
You have to guess the full name of the game.
I've watched most episodes of Trivia Tower. We'll see if I remember any of these specific questions.
First question. What is the name of this game?
All right, does anybody know? I'm leaning resistant.
Fallout.
No, that's Fallout. That's Fallout.
New Vegas.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Correct. Way to go.
Well done, everybody.
All right.
Color palette almost got me with Resistance. That was a good one to throw in there as a multiple choice.
Everybody. Name of this category is, of course, Game That Tune, everybody.
Okay,
Name That Tune.
ears open.
Playing video game music. You guess the name of the game that the music is from. All right, we're looking for the name of the game that this video game music is from. Good luck.
I don't know.
It sounds. It could be Tetris effect
It's
for
not
sure.
Tetris.
Okay,
Nope.
all right.
Okay. I haven't played any of these games, so I have no idea.
I've played Sayonara Wild Hearts. I don't think it sounds like that.
Max is saying sayonara.
Is it? Okay. I'm locking it in.
Correct. Way
All
to
right,
go.
nice.
All
Don't
right.
remember it as well as I thought. All right. I assume we're doing Doing a classic 5-floor setup here.
Concept dart.
Do you reckon you'll win a headset?
I think we have to hold Hanson accountable for that if we do win.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it just has like his email address at the end of the game here. Concept art. Ooh, looking. Oh, is it Just Cause with the tornadoes? Wasn't that the whole thing with Just Cause 4? Was like the weather?
I think it's Outer Wilds because that also had a tornado.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh man. Yeah, I'll take your word on Outer Wilds. Nice, nicely done.
All right.
I'm glad I'm not listening to myself and I'm listening to all of you. You're all better at this than I am.
Wait a minute, is this how you win Trivia Tower? Just like
that's right.
10 people in the chat?
Yeah, that's how I always do it. Is that not what you guys do?
I always read the answers off the answer key and then I get all of them right.
Right.
So far, they never have given me a headset though.
Alright. Well, this one we could just wait. Oh, it's GoldenAxe though, right? Almost positive it's GoldenAxe, but we have no reason not to wait. Yeah, it's GoldenAxe.
Correct. Way to go. All right.
But we're not competing against someone else doing it faster than me. If it was just me against Trivia Tower, I would do so much better. It's the speed that gets me usually.
Floor, the most intense floor. This is a category named by dear friend of the show, Tim Turry. This category is called Stu Hoodio.
I wonder how much of a pain it was to go and get all these separate clips of Hanson reading out questions, because these were all from different episodes. He's wearing different shirts. Ooh, it's looking pretty Volition. It's looking pretty Red Faction.
I think it's Volition?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Red Faction to me. I'm gonna lock it in. Oh, we all get a headset. All of us together.
Would we have to share one headset and just ship it around the world?
Everybody gets 12 hours with the headset, and you got to send it to the next person.
Historical episodes of Trivia Tower you can catch up on, and again, if you
want, we're very multinational in this stream as well. We got the UK, we got Australia, we got.
That's right. Wow, Ben grew his hair back so fast over the course of this round of Trivia Tower. All right.
The magic of the DVD.
So we got one more making of Redacted trailer here as our last little feature on our DVD game here.
This is just incredible.
Yeah, this is amazing. I wish we had the developer, because I have so many questions about how making a DVD game in 2024 works. Yeah, I can only aspire to have an idea that good for a game jam.
And is this like a Doc Lightning entry as well?
Maybe.
He's made a whole documentary as well.
Wow.
What?
A teaser. I wonder. Oh man, did we coincide it perfectly? I was gonna say, yeah. Someone in the chat said, "Is this one of the auction items from last night?" I bet it is. I bet we timed this perfectly with. Well, I guess the opposite of perfectly, because that happened yesterday. But I bet that was something that was mailed in for auction. That's awesome. All right, that was so much fun to end on. I'm gonna mute this here and just pull the submission page back up. So that was our 7 games for today. Thanks so much for all the devs who hopped up and anyone who's just hanging out watching. If you want to come back tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the other 6 submissions for MinnHax 2024. Those will be Heart Defenders, Emoji Adventure, Cardionauts, Pulse Apart, Ice Cream Sundate, and Orbital Games Preservation Museum and Gallery. So we'll be looking at those tomorrow, which will round out the rest of them. Also, no promises as always, but I have loosely talked to Ben Hanson about cohorts playing through some of these games at some point, and he definitely seems interested. So stay tuned for that in the future as well. But for now, that is going to do it for MinnHax 2024 Dev Showcase number 1. Thanks again to LemonLimeBitta, CrabPalace for helping set up the jam this year and organize everything.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you all again tomorrow.